Yo, what's up guys, GameMagic13 here, and welcome back to the 100% walkthrough for LEGO Batman the video game. Today we'll be playing through the 4th level of the Joker's Return in the Dark Knight, and picking up the superhero achievement along the way. While seemingly optional, it helps a lot for superhero if you turn around as soon as level starts and rebuild the Batwing. Because as soon as it floats into the air, for some reason, a whole ton of studs come out, and a lot of them are blue studs. When you're ready to proceed, bust open these boxes over here and reassemble the pieces into a lift. Then reassemble these pieces over here into a handrail, which you can use to jump on top of the lift and then jump over the gate. Now this is bad game design. What you're about to see is me fall into the goo. However, I'm behind a fence, so I logically shouldn't be able to fall into the goo. Or at least that's what I thought before this happened. Long story short, hug the backhand wall to avoid falling into the goo, which you can't even really see leaks past the fence. Anyway, break open these boxes right here and then reassemble the pieces into handrails. You can use the handrails to climb up to the top of this little tower, and then you'll get some studs to the top. And when you drop down, you should be rushed by a group of goons, which Robin has already done a good job of distracting for me. But it's goon combat. I really shouldn't have to explain anything. Reassembling these pieces into a car doesn't help you in any way other than giving you studs, so might as well do it just for the studs, but unless you want to drive around in a car just for the fun of it, it's really not all that helpful. You will be continually rushed by goons as you move through the alleyways, but they're just goons. Punches and kicks will take them down no problem. This will be the final group of goons you have to deal with, so just take them out with a batarang since they're all bunched up. And then mop up any survivors with punches and kicks. Once you've dispatched with all the goons, go over and break open that little panel on the wall to reveal a lever. We'll use that in a second. And then break the boxes immediately to the left of that lever, and then reassemble the pieces into a fan. And then pull the lever to activate the fan. Use the fan to blast you up to the upper walkways, and then from these upper walkways you can jump over to this ledge right here, and then bust open these little planks right here, and then once you get inside you can break open these boxes and reassemble the pieces into a rotator switch. Before you rotate the switch all the way around, be sure to get Batman on top of the lift, and then you can switch to Robin and fully rotate the switch. I rotate the switch a little bit here because then I instantly remembered after the fact that I actually need to get Batman on the lift before I lift it up, because Batman needs to be up here so he can equip the demolition suit. And from here it should be self-explanatory what you have to do to get into the club. But before you go into the club, just blow up all the other shiny objects from around the area so that you can get a few extra studs. And even beyond that, there's a little trick that I always do before going into the club that really helps me out with Superhero. Bust open these 3 silver crates right here by the goo near the start of the level, and then reassemble the pieces into a machine that will completely absorb all of the goo from the street. And then once the goo's all gone, 3 purple studs will rise in the center of the street. If you don't know, purple studs are worth 10,000, which adds an extra 30,000 points to your score, which is extremely helpful. Anyway, with that out of the way, now you can just blow up any other silver objects you didn't get earlier, and from there you can go into the club. Blow open this truck with the demolition suit and then step inside the club. There's going to be a few goons inside, and this time a few of them are going to have guns, so you want to watch out for them. But remember, treat a goon armed with a gun like a henchman, because they perform the exact same way. Rush up in their face, and then just punch them. There's nothing they can do about it, because they're going to put their gun away. Once the area is clear, bust open the tables nearby, and then reassemble the Lego pieces to finish the object to our right. Also reassemble these pieces over here in the right corner into a zip line up there, or rather half of the zip line. I'll explain why we do that a little bit later. But for now, reassemble these pieces earlier if you haven't already to finish this object, and then push it forward and then to the right to push it all the way into the wall. And we have to do the same thing for this other object, but you notice that there aren't any checkered tiles here. So what can we do to fix that? Well, head over to the left-hand side of the room and smash any objects along the way. Once you make it to the left wall, bust open the blue object with 2 green lights on and then reassemble the pieces into a grappling hook, which you can use to get up to that ledge with the arrows on it. Once you're up here, reassemble these pieces into half of a zip line, and this is why we built the other half of the zip line earlier, because if we didn't, we would have had to jump down and then build it now, rather than having it already pre-done for us. Really, it's just a time saver than anything, but it helps. It's better than having to go all the way back down again. Anyway, as Batman, place 1 detonator in front of this light and another in front of this light, and then jump off, because cool guys don't look at explosions. Then, the checker tile pieces will descend from above, so you can reassemble these into the checker tile, and then push the object into the far right wall. Two levels will then activate, which means both players have to turn these down at the same time. Your AI companion will rush over to the other one if you're on solo, and if you're playing co-op, then you both just have to have good synchronization. Step into the elevator and move to the next layer, where you will be immediately greeted by a group of goons with guns, but because they're all in your face, they will not pull out their guns unless they back away from you, so they're not that big of a threat. As Batman, place 1 detonator over here to the left on this shiny object, and then another one on this statue right here. Now, for some reason, this detonator isn't going to destroy the statue outright like it usually does. In fact, it didn't even detonate at all. But we can assemble these far left pieces into a disco ball. Look at that. That detonator only blew off the guy's head for some reason. So, if that happens for you, just put another one down, and that should fully destroy the statue. So then you can reassemble these pieces into a Robin suit swapper, and then as Robin, you can equip the technology suit. Unfortunately, there's nothing for Robin to use his tech suit on just yet, as I'm about to demonstrate in case you want to try it yourself. He can't use his tech suit on anything just yet. So before we do that, we are going to assemble these pieces along the far right wall into 2 speakers, and then after we assemble them into 2 speakers, the dance floor will suddenly light up. There will be 2 lights available on the dance floor for you to step on at all times. And you have to step on one light, your AI partner will automatically step on the other if you're playing on solo. Pretty simple. If you're playing on co-op, you both just have to be very quick with where you step, because, as you'll notice here pretty soon, some of these lights will fade away after a while, so you do have to be quick, and for some reason Robin wasn't stepping on his light there for a second, which cost us some time. So if you're playing on co-op, you gotta be really fast with stepping on these lights, or else you might be here a while. And if you're on solo, just make sure you step on your button, and your AI partner will step on theirs. Now we have something for Robin to tech. So send Robin over to the tech panel, and then take control of the massive purple and green robot, and then bust open this hole in the wall. Then lose control of the robot, and you can now move through the hole in the wall. From this balcony, use your battering to take out all 3 goons. That should take out all of them, but you'll notice this guy just got knocked on his head rather than being knocked out, so just follow up with a second battering if that ever happens. Then, bust open these pieces on the right-hand side and reassemble the pieces into a Robin suit swapper, where you will equip the magnet suit. But, don't worry, because we are not going to be abandoning the tech suit for long, we're just using it for this area. So follow the stud trail over to the magnet wall, and then use Robin to cross the goo. Unfortunately, the game isn't very fair here, because the goons start shooting at you before you even get off the wall, so you're more than likely going to lose at least 1 heart. But it shouldn't be too big a deal, because even with the guns, the goons aren't that big of a threat. Anyway, reassemble these pieces into a device which is going to suck up all of the goo, and you can't break these boxes as I just demonstrated, unless you have Batman over here, which we are going to do, because this machine is sucking up all the goo, and Batman just crossed the gap. So, use Batman's demolition suit to bust open these objects, and then take cover, or just back away. And then we are going to construct another magnet wall for Robin to climb up, so then switch to Robin and climb up the wall. As you can see, there's a mini-kit on the left, but I am going to intentionally avoid it because, as you should know by now, I am saving all mini-kits for the free play video. Then cross the tightrope as Robin and flip the lever. Take control of Batman and send him up the ladder. Place a bomb against this fence, and then blow it up. Break everything on this deck, and then use the pieces to reassemble this machine closest to the screen. Once it's rebuilt, step on it as both Robin and Batman, and then water will pull down on the fire below. And before you move into the final area, switch back to Robin and go back for your tech suit. Trust me, you'll need it for the final boss. This has proved to be incredibly effective. Go up to the little hole, place a bomb, back up, and then use a batarang to fire at the goons that have just approached the wall. The detonator will kill most of them, and then your batarang will kill the rest. Then follow up with one last batarang before you move into the final area. Then use a batarang to take out the 3 goons charging you down with their guns, and then batarang the 2 goons up on the ledge, and that's all goons down. Now you can move into the final boss area. Okay, to start off this boss fight, punch Killer Moth. He'll be able to do 2 hearts worth of damage before he flies back up to his ledge up there. When he does retreat, use a detonator to destroy these boxes on the left-hand side, and then reassemble the pieces to fix the machine on the right. Then once you finish rebuilding the machine, a group of infinitely respawning goons will start coming down from the left-hand corner against the screen closest to you. However, they shouldn't be that big of a deal. Now, this is why we brought the tech suit from earlier. As Robin, go up to the tech panel and then hold the build button to fix the machine, activating the lever on the left and then the lever on the right. While there is a tech suit in this room, it's a lot easier if you have a tech suit going into the boss battle, so you don't have to waste time going to get Robin's tech suit. Flip one lever and your AI partner will flip the other one, but if you're playing on co-op, of course, you'll both have to do it in sync. And then once you do that, a light bulb will turn on, and Killer Moth will fly to it, dealing him 1 heart of damage. Then punch him twice more, and he will retreat back up to his ledge, and also, this machine on the right will have a bunch of pieces dangling next to it, to reassemble those to fix the machine. But we're still not quite done yet. Before we can fix the machine entirely, I would like to point out that there is another wave of infinitely respawning goons on the right-hand side. The infinitely respawning wave just kind of moved sides. Anyway, move into this right-hand room once there's a break in the goon spawning, and push this crate against the far right wall, and that will send the final pulse needed to activate the machine, allowing Robin to use his tech suit once more. Go up to the tech panel and hold the build button, which will send the machine whirring into motion, and will once again activate both levers, allowing you both to flip them. So, flip the 2 levers in sync with each other. If you're on solo, your AI partner will flip it in sync, and if you're on co-op, you just need to do it at the same time. And then the light will turn on, allowing Killer Moth to take 1 final heart of damage, ending the level. Alright, and that is going to do it for this episode of the LEGO Batman the Video Game 100% walkthrough. So, I would like to thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode, and until then, it's been Gaming Magic 13, signing off saying hope you have a finished goal day, and I will catch you next time when we're going to be tackling the final story mode level for our heroes and of the Joker's return to the top of the tower. Goodbye!